You are coming up towards the end of the semester, which means it's time to put together a portfolio of your learning. So you are going to be going through the learning outcomes of the course that were stated at the very beginning in the syllabus, and you're going to put together your evidence of how you understand your own learning on those particular outcomes. Now, I had left that assignment kind of wide open, but I know a lot of you would benefit from seeing some examples of how you could do a portfolio like this. Since we're not face to face, you can't put together a physical binder of your work or something like that. So it's going to be a digital portfolio. The nice thing about that is once you've made it, you have it to keep and take forward with you. So the best way to think about a portfolio is it's an ongoing process. It won't end when you're done with this course with me. You'll be adding to it as you go because you're going to be adding to your learning as you go. So, throughout your college career, your graduate career, whatever you're doing, it's always kind of cool to go back and look at where you started and say, okay, what did I gather? Whether it's a semester or a year or a full 4 years or, an entire educational journey all the way through grad school. What were you like at the beginning and how did it change over time? So you have a template of one way to do it. You can do a portfolio, just like kind of make a Google Doc and just kind of walk through and put links in it. So you've seen that template. What I'm going to show you right now is how you could do it if you prefer to kind of talk things out. If you'd rather just sort of walk me through it by showing me things rather than typing out your thoughts. So I'm going to show you an example of what if I wanted to put together a portfolio of my development as a faculty member in terms of what I put forward to students the first day of class in my syllabus. And what have I learned over the past few years as I have worked to make my classroom a more welcoming, inclusive space? And it can be painful for me to look back at the way I was a few years ago and the tone that I took, but that's the point of a portfolio like this. Okay, so if I say, okay, my portfolio here, what I'm showing you all is my progress on the learning outcome of I want to build an inclusive, inviting syllabus that creates an inclusive, welcoming, inviting classroom culture. So I'm going to show you, and this is, what you can do with your portfolio. I'm using a screen capture app. I'm using QuickTime Player. I'm in the Mac OS system. There's a screen capture function on your phone, on an iPad. I can help you if you just need to know like what app should I use for this. But you're going to start screen capturing and it'll capture your audio so you can hear me talking and it's going to capture what you're doing on the screen so you can then pull up things from your Google Drive or in Cami or whatever and show them to me. And you're going to make this video and the video itself is your portfolio. So starting right now, this is my portfolio on the subject of building an inviting, inclusive, welcoming course syllabus. So when I started out, so here's a Chem 111 syllabus from fall of 2017. So this is now not that long ago, but it feels like ancient history. So, you can see it's like a pretty basic Word doc. It's pretty text heavy. What I really want to focus on, and this is the case for any portfolio, you want to guide your viewer and say, okay, here's what I want to show you specifically. You're not just going to say, here's my syllabus, you read it. So if I come down here, since I'm focusing on what were the policies and kind of the rules that I had in place and what tone did they send? What message did they send to my students? So I've got an honesty policy here. All right, if I look at this honesty policy, it's like, if you do this, you're going to get a 0. I'm not going to drop it. Everybody's in trouble. You're going to go to the dean, blah, blah, blah. It's a very crime and punishment way of looking at a class. It's like, students, here's all the ways I know you're going to, pardon my language, but all the ways I know you're going to fuck up. You're gonna cheat, you're gonna lie, you're gonna try to get away with things, and here's all the ways that I'm gonna catch you doing it. That was the tone of this syllabus. I had learned it from other faculty, I had learned it from other sample syllabi. I thought that's what you had to do. Same thing here, I've got at the lab, attendance is mandatory, underline, no makeup sessions for the lab portion of the course. Now, I might have had a good reason for that. Maybe it isn't possible to make up a lab because we can't get into the lab any other time. But I could have said that, and I could have given some alternatives. If you couldn't be there that day, but you really did want to learn what we were doing in the lab, how could you make that up? My approach here was if you didn't come to lab, it's because you blew it off, and that's not my fault, and it's not my problem. That was absolutely the tenor of the syllabus. Even if that's not really how I felt, that's the message. My course policies all sent that same message. It's like if you're late to class twice, it's the same as an absence. You can only be absent twice, and then your course grade is going to start to tank. I have things in here like a legitimate family emergency or serious illness. All right, what message does legitimate send? Like you might have a family emergency that I decide is not legitimate. So everything in here was from a posture of I'm in charge, but I'm white knuckling through it. You all are going to try to get away with stuff, and I have to try and be two steps ahead of you all the time, and I have to be anxious about it all the time. And you need to understand that I'm the boss, and you're a problem person, and all that sort of thing. So, those are the main things I want to pull out. There's lots of other stuff in this syllabus, but in my portfolio, I don't need you to look at any of that other stuff. I wanted to focus on the things that are getting at that learning objective of is my syllabus creating a warm, inviting, welcoming culture where people feel like they're being treated as humans with flaws and with hopes and with worries. And no, I don't think I was doing a great job of that in the fall of 2017. So, second part of my portfolio, I want to show you, and you guys will be familiar with this because this is the syllabus that we're working off of now. I make no claims that this syllabus is doing a perfect job either, but I can see right now how far I've come. And this in this portfolio I'm making for you, I want you to see how far I've come. Just the visuals of this just feel friendlier. It feels like I've walked into a space where somebody is interested in getting my attention and saying, this is going to be fun. It's colorful. It's, like I'm trying to make it seem like a place you'd want to be. That last syllabus felt like a prison cell, if a syllabus can feel like that. And then if I come down here, okay, so course information, this is much friendlier. Okay, so there's no particular time of day we're expected to be online. Work on the course as your life and schedule allow. So just recognizing that you have a life, that's not really something I was doing in my last syllabus. Um, so you've seen, okay, so my general course description, if you think you're not a science person, we're going to change that. I'm going to help you along the way. I had a very different take. So then if I come down to, kind of what I'm trying to do with this portfolio is say, this is what I was like on this aspect before, and this is what I'm like now. So late assignments and makeup work. Okay, my first syllabus I showed you was like, you can't do anything late, there's no makeups, blah, blah, blah. So now I've changed that policy to say, okay, you got the token system, it's flexible. If you need to turn in something late, just do that. I'm not even going to question it. I'm not going to ask you for a legitimate family emergency. I'm just going to accept that you're a person and sometimes things are going to have to be late. You're going to have other things going on. So I've made that clear. I don't really feel that differently about you all now than I did in 2017, but my syllabus couldn't be more different. And what matters is what message I was putting across. So, attendance policy is another one. I pulled that out on my last syllabus. It was very punitive. It was like this number of lates is equivalent to an absence, this many absences, blah, blah, blah. Now, my attendance policy is this paragraph here where I'm like, okay, things are going to happen. You might be late with some stuff. That's okay. It's a weird time. It's stressful. You're going to work when you can. You're going to let me know when you can't. We're going to have an actual human connection on that. It's not going to be, I'm the prison guard and you're the prisoner and you've sacrificed all of your human rights to be in this class and I don't really care about you as a person. So that was my learning outcome, is to create a syllabus that showed people how I really do feel, which is that you are a person, same as me. You have issues, same as me. I sometimes can't get things done to deadline. Sometimes you can't either. That doesn't make you a bad person or a bad student or any of those things. Same thing with my honest work, plagiarism, and cheating policy. Totally different now. So this is an abbreviated version of a portfolio, but if you like this approach, where instead of typing it all out, you pull things up and you guide me through it by talking it through in a screen capture kind of way, that's awesome. I really want the format of this portfolio to be what's going to work best for you. If you like to type things out and you want to do the other template lays out, do it that way. If you like to talk things through and just kind of free flow and just pull things up, I would recommend, since the portfolio is kind of elaborate, there's a lot of learning outcomes, that you kind of write out like, okay, these are the points I want to hit. Like, okay, learning outcome one, building a mental model of matter and energy. All right. Okay, so in my portfolio, I'm going to show you some evidence of what I understood at the beginning of the class about matter and energy, and here are some other pieces as we went along where I'm showing increased understanding. So these videos can get long and take up a lot of storage. You may decide that your portfolio is going to be a series of videos. So you could make one of these for each learning outcome, kind of give me a tour of your Google Drive, show me assignments that really pull out your strengths and your changes over time. And then you can kind of drop all those links into one place for me. So I'm happy to help you with the technical aspects of that. If you need help learning how to do a screen capture or where to store the videos or should you put them on YouTube, I can help with all of that. So really all you need to know right now is how would you prefer to present your portfolio? Would you prefer to have it be a typed kind of thing? Or would you prefer to do one of these video screen capture types? And then I am more than happy to teach you whatever I know about how to make these things. Um, and I want that learning portfolio to be like a genuine reflection of who you are and how you express yourself and how you demonstrate your learning. So I'll stop rambling now, and hopefully this is helpful and it offers you another option for how best to express your learning over the course of this semester.